Hi and welcome under the moon tree. Woke up at 5 a.m. or thereabouts this morning and was called to start making shorts. But shoveling this Radleigh Valentine's angel deck after the previous one, I felt cold. This one will be a bit longer, and one of these cards already strongly jumped up, so I left it. I haven't seen it. We shall take this card, and it wants to wait. It still wants to wait a little bit, and we shall take an oracle to go with the tarot. Dear Spirit, our guides, what message wants to come? Spirit guide. And for you as well, as I am sitting here, before I actually started making my readings, you as well may be called these days in your dream or in between waking states. Your guides may be very much wanting to connect with you in the night time or early morning hours, whether in your dreams or indeed waking you up, saying, we need to meet, we need to talk. So, for some of you, also called to, should you wake up at such early hours, to quieten yourself and just meditate. Just connect to the cosmos, to the universe. Ground yourself in your bed and connect to the universe. And some may very much be receiving a lot of information just flowing in effortlessly, and like I experienced actually again this morning, that everything is so clear and there is so much information coming through. Maybe a good idea, if you feel it is important to write it down, do so. But on the other hand, it may well be that in half an hour you could no longer put it to words. But that matters not, actually. And it will very well also kind of come to arrange itself and come back to you at a later date in the form of words. But also getting the message that that the language of light and the language of love in such dimensions that you may be moving around with such beings that you may be connecting with in those early hours. That this language is so very clear. Yet when you return to the so-called waking world, where we always operate in one way or the other, very much in the cognition of the mind that guides us through our 3D lives. That part of the reason why it's had to bring some very clear messages into language suddenly in those waking hours is because the language is different. And some things are hard to translate, for there are no words to describe in the myriad of languages that we speak on this earth. Yet it is possible to an extent, yes. And my hand is going to another tarot card. Let us now thank you, Spirit, and our guides. And yes, of course, and you know this already, the Spirit guide, you are strongly guided. You have strong guides by your side, and some kind of a, should I use the word, someone very special for many of you, kind of your main guide and guardian angel coming through as well. 10 of air for someone, strong sign that the worst is over. If there has been even a dark night of the soul, when speaking of wakings up and night times, but in very, very, even on a, yes, getting the message for someone just having been through these troubles, or even if they are still ongoing, the worst is over. The fog is lifting, or the pain is lifting. Look, the unicorns are free. They are watching, looking around. The one in the front, like, is it really over? I am feeling lighter. We cannot see. What was it? What was the difficult situation for these unicorns? But embrace the change and expect things to get better now. It says on the card. And for some of you, who have walked through great difficulties, though great difficulty, through great difficulty comes through true wisdom, compassion, through having lived in such times. Which becomes a light unto others without even needing words to comfort others when they go through such times. Without even needing words. You have lit a lamp in your heart. I'm thinking of the Hermit card in the tarot. The Hermit bearing a lamp and standing on a hilltop, and those who are still lost in the fog can see his light and the Hermit's gaze full of compassion. He doesn't need to shout directions to the others, but when they see that light shining on the hill, they feel, well, you can imagine what they feel if they thought they were utterly lost and they see a light. And they start to find their directions just by looking at that light. And then, strange thing, getting the message with the spirit guide. Some of you, some of us here are called to be in our own way, and in such a way as I spoke of the Hermit. We are spirit guides. We are all spirit, and all spirits, spirit walking embodied in different bodies, yes, as well as our spirit guides walking in light bodies around us at this very moment. And in the same way, we are spirit, and we may be guides and about those nighttime adventures that you may be having, and connecting. That is also very much related to this being or becoming a spirit guide, a light bearer, a light worker, yes, awakening with Archangel Gabriel, awakening looking at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill, and it is important to be yourself. I was called to read everything that is on this card. And indeed, awakening and spiritual ascension. And now I'm getting like there is a wordplay of wordplay, and it is sort of humorous if you have been through this. But also it is very fitting and serious in that way that it is very true about spiritual emergence and spiritual emergency. For sometimes our awakenings are spiritual awakenings, for indeed most of us have many of these periods, some of them through the dark nights of the soul that we discussed with the 10 of air card. And sometimes, yes, it feels like an emergency, spiritual emergency. Even if it feels like an emergency, it is an emergence, emerging into a new like the unicorns, new freedom. New light. And opening to new frequencies of light, opening even to those new languages, new understanding, and in such new wisdom and clarity that doesn't even need words. Mm-hmm. New perspective, yes. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel. Um, and like I was saying, yes, sometimes it may feel like an emergency. And sometimes when we have already been through such emergencies, emerging through emergency, we may even, when another one comes, we may be like, oh no, it's another one. How intense is this going to be? But for some of you here, I'm getting the message that you may be through your current transformation, or one that has already happened. You may have entered a frequency where those emergencies are no longer such intense and painful emergencies, but a vibration where we can indeed just use the word emerging more effortlessly, emerging. And that is surrender, when you can truly surrender. And here in the now, I am getting a constant state of emerging into the now. Yes, I hope this resonates. I hope you get what I mean. The constant state of emerging in the now. Breathing. And emerging as a spirit, as love in the now. Freedom. Yes, this. And here we can see it's a beautiful card, very beautiful card. I love this. The woman in the cage, there was a cage around her, and we can see the dove of peace and of spirit, freedom, lighting the sky up behind her, and we can see the light in her heart, and the cage is becoming dissolved. The cage was an illusion. Freedom. Awakening. From the Ten of Air, awakening to freedom. And indeed, that frequency where the spiritual emergence can indeed continue as constant emergence. No more recurring emergencies, but constant emergence. This is important. Yes, this is how I will put it to words, and I will say it again. No longer reoccurring emergencies, but instead constant emergence. Constant emergence into your true being. Constant emergence as a being of light, as a being of love, as a spirit guide. Yeah. Thank you. My tiny spirit guide in the background, cleaning himself, Master Cherry. And he says, yes, this was all we needed to share with you today, or these early morning hours. Thank you very much. Love you, love you. Namaste. If you like the reading, give it a thumbs up. Hope to see you next time. Thank you.